I'm gonna have to stop it midway because battery and all that good stuff. Okay.
She grew up around switch up to say I never love you. My dog killed me, fuck I think I never could bitch. For the chains and the fame, why we see a bitch? My name is bang, going out with my pussy. Tell me a taste of this fame, pussy, man, too. Baby, can't be pills, I can't talk to your foot. Only that real, but that don't make me no killer. Heard you call me hit, but that don't make me no killer. Bitch, left the feel like I can't miss this. They say when I'm out there, they can't keep it up my back until I know they do. I need these hands out there. They don't want you wanna bring you. They don't wish like the way you used to. Roll like a roll, do it stay on the test. Thanks, I'm my friends, please stay on the line. All I know is shame with me, you don't know what you're doing, they just tell me you're wrong.
We gonna get ready to get this thing popping, y'all. Can we get the panelists to come to the stage?
Snatching cheese and running tattoos. It's my blood.
All right, we're gonna be ready to get this thing started. I'm gonna bring up the producer of the show, and he's gonna give y'all a little info about the show, and then we're gonna get ready to get things started. So y'all welcome Tim to the stage.
How y'all doing? All right. Just want to thank you guys for being here tonight. Unfortunately, we don't have our DJ Cool Breeze yet. Something come up. We do have any walls.
Okay. Okay, then.
You know, got any birthdays going on this month? 7th. So last month. September. Well, we just celebrated ours. We didn't know new walls. We just celebrated ours. So, of course, this is a platform for you guys to submit questions on relationships. We've been doing the show since 2018, and we also do it virtually. But no shows are the same. We love doing it, love meeting new people, hearing the responses, and we actually do get to see how it helps people, mentally, you know what I'm saying? So, because, get those questions out there, we can talk about, stuff that maybe want to do. So, that being said, little updates about the show. We got 2 new sponsors. As you can look back there, we got Capital Associates. They are a law firm that specializes in vehicle accidents, personal injury law. And then we have Conan Grill, Coney Island, which is on 20th Street in Detroit. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of them as far as the show. This evening, we have a raffle that's going to be held by Monark Travel. So be sure to get your raffle tickets. I believe they're only $5, right? Yes, sir. You're going to get a 4-night vacation. 4-day, 3-night vacation, no airfare, but your stay will be included. And then we're also going to have performers from Mike and Mello at our talent showcase. So we're going to be performing later on. So that being said, I know we're a little bit past our time, and I want to keep you guys. If you guys have questions, I'll turn some minutes. Go ahead and get the show started. Unfortunately, also, too, we have our theme song right before the show. Our DJ has the theme song. There won't be no theme song tonight. I'm sorry. So, other than that, just do it. Turn it over to the screen and continue to the show started.
Man, I needed the music.
my name is Trina, and I am your host for this evening. For those who are new to the talk show, the Heart to Heart Relationship Talk Show is a platform where you, our audience, submit questions on a variety of relationship topics. I then hand it over to my panelists to respond, who shares their advice, and then we hand it over to you, the audience, to respond to these questions. Now, it is an interactive talk show, and we like to have interaction with our audience members, so please remember that it's a judgment-free zone, and you are free to speak how you want to speak. However, you remain respectful to your panelists and also your peers. Now, you can find us on all social media platforms. We are streaming live on YouTube, and that would be HEART, the number 2, HEART, RTS, and that's on all social media platforms. You can also catch our live shows. We have done virtual shows, and we started in 2020, and we'll be having one in December, and all our virtual shows can be seen on Farside TV, who is also on the YouTube channel. Now, before I get into these questions, because I know we quite have a lot, and I need to just introduce my panelists, we just have a few ground rules. If it is you wish to respond to a question, please just raise your hand, and we will have a mic provided for you to speak. Remember to keep it respectful. We know that everyone loves their table talk, but please keep your volume low so that we can respect those who are speaking. And shop at our vendors. Don't forget to get that ticket from Monark, because you can't win unless you have a ticket. Now, I'm going to hand it over to my panelists. I'm going to give them about a minute each. And please just introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are, where they can find you. And if you have anything upcoming, just share it with us before we get into these questions. And I'm starting with Coach Dale.
How you doing? Coach Dale Lardell Spratt. My website is upfromashes.biz. I'm an author, award-winning author, speaker, coach, life coach, peer mentor, and in December I'll have a PhD. So thank you very much. Again, if you think you would need my services, or you know any men or young men that would need my services as a life coach, upfromashes.biz, and I can be searched on Amazon, Lardell, LARDELLSPRATT. My books are there. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is comedian Judge Miles, aka Porsche Miles Grant. I am a communication specialist, director by trade, but I also do comedy as well. You can find me on all social media platforms under comedian Judge Miles. I have a comedy special out right now on Amazon entitled The Verdict. I have a podcast, thank you guys. I have a podcast called The Verdict as well. You can find it on all streaming platforms, including YouTube. And as he spoke about, when it comes to academics, I am still in the race. I will be getting my doctoral degree next year, so thank you. Thank you.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Donnell J. Clayton. I am a truck fireman for like 9 years now. I act, I model, I'm around the city and go to schools and teach kids how to cook. So, my father said that. So yeah, I'm just here to be a help whenever I can. And shout out to my beautiful fiance Sierra and Leah right there. That's all I got.
Hello, my name is Katie Lawlin. I am a multi-award-winning producer and actress here in Metro Detroit. I have a production company called Painted Free Productions, and we make full-length features and have made a TV series, but most of our stuff is oriented on conversations that need to be had, also known as like human trafficking, based on a true story about domestic violence. We try to shed light on topics that need to be talked about. And recently we had a movie release called Finding Nicole. This is based on a true story of domestic violence. It was on Chris Cuomo's show, Inside Evil, all kinds of things. But anyways, it's out now on multiple platforms. So if you guys check out Painted Free Productions, you can find us. So thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Chef Jay. I'm
a restaurant owner, community activist, motivational speaker, educator. You can find me on Instagram at Supreme Cafe LLC. I'm also an author of a poetry book, and I just love just being out in the community, being a part of things like that, to be able to get back to the community. Thank you.
It's been over a year with no proposal. So I'm assuming this is from a female, and she's asking, if a man moves a woman in his place, should he know by then if he wants to marry her or not? It's been over a year with no proposal. And I'm giving it to my judge first.
So I have the pleasure of having a husband, and I get to learn a lot about what men truly want and what they are expecting from us. And I was told by him and a lot of other men that men know immediately if you are marriage material, if they're going to marry you. It doesn't take a long time to figure this out. So after a year and after him moving in, he should know whether or not he's going to stay with you. You guys are going to have longevity.
All right, pass it down.
Okay, well, I think it's personal. You know. Beyonce's right over here. Once we got to sleeping around each other, you know, locked in. I don't go after it, really. I've never been in a whole, I'm kind of old school. I never like being around somebody if I'm not, like, I didn't do it. So, once I want her around me 24/7, I'll say, this is it. So, if you know, not you can't get.
Can I ask how long did that take for you to know? Can you share that?
I don't know, it had to be like, personally, I knew it was 6 months when I met her.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew I was looking for. So I was 6 months, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
I love that you worked on that. So that's a good point. All right, we know you know.
Yeah, you know.
All right, Katie.
There is something to that, but I think communication is very important from the get-go. I think maybe he doesn't really know if that's what he wants, but he's willing to take the next step, considering that he is moving her in. But they need to have a conversation. They need to be upfront and talk about their expectations, because once you move a woman into your house, she will make it her home. So, after that being said,
All right, Chef Jay, what you got?
That's a good choice. I would say that, you know, I agree with what everybody, you know, said. You know, we as men, we know after the first, you know, few months, you know, whether or not we think of somebody's marriage, you know, material, or not. Definitely, you know, after a whole year, you know, y'all been together, you know, y'all been around each other, you see each other 24/7. So a year cycle is like you see them through the winter, the summer, the spring. You know, you see how they angry, they mad. I think that's a good enough time to know. So I think at this point, it's just a conversation that has to be had to make sure that y'all both on the same page. And if not, you know, keep it going.
I keep hearing the same answers. All right. Before I hand it over to Coach Dale to round it up, anyone in the audience wanted to chime in on this question to share their views or their perspectives? I'll start playing and I'll start just handing the mic over. Remember, it's a judgment-free zone, so you are free to speak and share. If not, I will hand it over and I go on the end. Why do you have that
What's up, everybody? Del King, how are y'all? I'm gonna message y'all for a second. But it's a couple different things. So we gotta look at, is it apartment, condo, house? Because those are different commitments. Obviously, a house is gonna be a little longer, but we hit on the point with the communication. You gotta talk to them. But realistically, just because you are in an apartment, house, or condo with them, you just got drafted. That was it. You still have to make the team. see what I'm saying? You can have some flaws in there. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
you ain't pick this plate well. I think we have to move on. You see what I'm saying? It's still a trial and error there. You know, once again, you didn't see them like young man said. You didn't see them all for a season. You know what I mean? So you gotta look at it from that standpoint. But the communication has to be there before we even get in there. I know like a ton of couples, I'm wish we also like to know it, but I know a ton of couples is like, man, I need this person. I need help with lease. I need help with mortgage. So once again, you have to talk about it ahead of time and see what's going on. Because it could be, hey, let's just be roommates. And sometimes it work out better than actually being in a relationship or a couple. Because now we start to fall under that tier level of what society thinks. We gotta do this, we gotta do this. So, you know, NFL just cut some people, you made it cut.
Yeah, I'm gonna lie. As a grown man, I think before you look for a partner like that, you gotta have certain stuff intact. I'm not looking for a wife like a job. I don't know where I'm looking from. All this going on with girls, you adding to me. You know what I mean? Eventually, or whatever you want to call it, but you're adding to me. I survive alone. So I'm not looking for a roommate. It's people who be stuck in situations because they need you. You know, oh, we not breaking up because we can't afford the mortgage right now. This takes care of it. If you can help, cool. Say for vacation, whatever, but it's one of them things where as a grown man, I'm living in the box. You the owner of this box. It is what it is.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, I don't have to be living in a condo, apartment, house. I gotta have my lot before I can get you. I bring you to something that's already taken care of.
You're happy.
You know.
I love that. All right, did anybody else want to chime in on this question before I move over to Coach Dale? Have one? All right, we're all right there. Fiance.
Thank you. I had a question for the gentleman that just spoke. If it's in football terms, then wouldn't you only be moving in the MVP? And if you do, then you should kind of already know that this is your star player and that you're going in the direction of marriage. And if that's the case, and you move them in, and they're not following the playbook, as you said, then do you automatically just get rid of your MVP?
Hello, I think she's speaking to you.
Then that's it. Immediately?
So,
All right. Then that's it.
if you come back to what it says, you'll keep around. Nope.
Wait for that mic, hello, there you go.
So it's like, first of all, I've been doing this for 20 years. So I've seen so many scenarios to the point where it's like, why did you stay? Or why did you leave? As soon as you put the title on somebody saying that they're MVP, now all of a sudden they can't get cut. They can come into practice late. Oh, I can show up for game day. No, because now they're gonna get abusive. Now they're gonna start calling you certain names, and then now are you sticking around or keeping them there? Now they're gonna stop putting the effort in it. The only way you're gonna always say ED is the effort and the discipline for it to keep that relationship. If you treat them and put them on a pedestal, they don't put that effort in. Why put that effort in? You ain't gonna let them go. You see what I'm saying? So even with if you go back to the football terms, even MVPs got cut when they wasn't putting in the stats. So as soon as you put somebody in a certain place, you can't just keep them there. You gotta make sure it's still going. That goes for me too. I gotta keep making sure that I'm available for beyond the love languages. You know what I mean? But it starts with just effort.
Did that answer your question? It didn't. Is there any other closing questions you want to ask me before we round it up so you can try and get a clarified answer? You don't have to say anything if you like that.
I just think that we think differently. I think that if you're the MVP, then that takes a lot of discipline. That takes a lot of effort. You've shown that you're the best of the best. And usually if you have that kind of discipline, then I guess, if you have short moments, I don't know, I feel like you probably are still better than the majority. So it's like based upon you being at the top of the top, because people have good and bad days, then
maybe you should never move anybody in, because during the hard times when you're just saying you're gonna so I just think we can do it.
And that's the beauty of the show, because not everyone's gonna have the same view. So it's good to hear your view, and it was good to hear Taylor's view. Our relationship expert, that's what I'm calling it. All right, Coach Dale, can you run these answers first?
Well, I would, speaking for myself, I've been married 19 years now. 19 years. I met my wife, Valentine's Day, no, March 06. We got married December 06. And then remarried in her church, Valentine's Day 07. So here's the thing. So I wrote a book. My book is Up From Ashes, The Streets, Prison, and Redemption. I did 20 years in prison prior to meeting her. So, you know, I was a kid when I was 17 years old. So I didn't really know too much about relationships. But what I did was I had to research myself. It's a level of maturity. See, nobody mentioned it. It's a level of mental maturity. I went to therapy. I knew who I was and who I'm not. I knew what I would take and accept and what I wouldn't. My wife had went through, she's a grown woman. She went through therapy. She knew what she would accept and not accept, right? So this, in my book, this is funny, but this is when she was taking me home, because I didn't have a car, and I said, you know, I'm feeling you. And she was like, well, I appreciate that. I said, so we started dating, like I said, a couple months, and I asked her 3 questions. I said, you believe in a higher power, higher spiritual power? She said, yes. I said, do you believe in going out, hanging out all the time with nice stuff? She said, no. I said, me neither. I said, you don't do drugs and drink, right? She said, no. I said, me neither. Would you marry me? So she was like, wait a minute, you don't know me. I said, I don't fully know myself, but my baseline is unquestionable. It's unshakable. We can learn the rest with each other. That is the case. So I think in this, what we're talking about, if you lose somebody, I went to the market, I've seen roses. I went to stores, flower stores, you see roses. Each rose is beautiful. I don't think there's one MVP. When I look at women, I see beauty, right? I see God. So, when you select that one and you bring her in, hopefully it's not a trauma bond. Right? Hopefully it's not a trauma. She's running because she got daddy issues. He wants some in-house, right? So he done got miseducated by grown men. Yeah, you get it in the house, you got all the coochie you want, right? So hopefully it's not that dynamic. It's a dynamic where you know who you are, like the gentleman said. You compliment me. You can't make me better. My wife can't save me. I can't save her. We complement each other, right? So if it's that kind of situation, well then the man should know. And the woman would know. Because it ain't just about him, right? You two would know, yeah, we're not shacking up. This is clever.
I like that. I said it's a nice wrong response.
All right, so the person who wrote that question, I hope you received the advice that has been shared. So let's switch gears a little bit. Okay. What do you do when your significant other starts baiting you into an argument to avoid sex with you? And does marriage make a difference? I'll repeat the question, and Katie, I'm going to give it to you first. What do you do when your significant other starts baiting you into an argument to avoid sex with you? And does marriage make a difference?
So I don't think marriage makes a difference. The easiest answer to that, because when you're together, married, yeah, you locked down, where if it was a boyfriend and girlfriend, they'd walk away, right? We need to start having conversations about sex. Relationship needs to have the communication, like I was saying earlier, where they're like, you know what, I'm into this, you're into that, let's try this. Okay, so I see that you maybe don't want to have sex. You can be clear to me about not wanting to have sex. You don't even have an argument with me to make me feel detached of wanting to have sex. But it's like what's healthy in a marriage or in a relationship, right, with sex. I guess that's based on you guys having that conversation and being able to talk. But he doesn't sound like he really knows what he wants, or this person doesn't really know what they want. They may not have a healthy relationship with sex. Most people don't because we can't have those conversations, but it's, to me, that's what I think as far as this goes.
I like that. All right, Chef, what you got?
I think the biggest mistake that you can make in a relationship is thinking that you're gonna change somebody in a relationship before you get married. However that person is before you got married, they're gonna be the same person that they are when they get married. Now, granted, of course, you grow together, you learn, you have patience, you go through trials and tribulations, but the biggest mistake you can make is thinking, oh, if I marry this person, it'll be something different. Obviously, that person is purposely, intentionally, and consistently, having arguments to avoid, to have sex. That's when I think to have that conversation because maybe it's something off. Maybe it's that communication of marriage because obviously that person is intentionally doing it so that way they can avoid, that sexual interaction. Communication is very important in relationships and in marriages, and that's one of the biggest problems in relationships. We don't communicate. We hide our feelings, we hide our emotions, and I tell people all the time, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You have to be able to learn your partner to know and to learn why are they in that mood, what emotions are they bringing, and be able to, bring out the best in each other. Like my brother, you got to be able to compliment each other, but you have to be able to learn one another to know what to say or what not to say. So,
I agree with that. All right, now what you got, Bryce?
So one thing about sex, you want man or woman. You know your partner want. You can see it. It's just like little things that's not verbal, but you see like, oh yeah, I gave that night. Oh well. Ain't no big deal. We watch TV and go sleep. But you know it's that time. So it's gonna be forced. And if that time ain't gonna come, then that's a real conversation to have. If we ain't doing that, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe we ain't trying to supposed to be together, so I don't know. I mean, you ain't gotta ask yourself that. It's like, what made you? It's a weird dynamic. It's something you can't beg for, you can't ask for real. You just gotta be moving and be set like it's awkward it's not. So it's like, what's making you feel like it's not gonna happen, you know what I mean? It's a non-verbal thing.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to that in a second. Judge Mons, what you got? Do you have anything different other than what they saying, communication?
Yes, I do. So we don't need anything, let's be for real. I don't know who y'all in a relationship with, but my husband is not having it. Sex, that box is imperative, it's important, it's priority. That box got to be given up. This word is like, got to get this out. It has to happen, okay? So one excuse, maybe I'm not feeling good, okay. But constant excuses, we have a humongous issue. Because when you love one another, you're supposed to want to have a connection with that person. I think about it all day, every day. Even when I don't feel like it, because as women, we just don't feel like it. I still initiate it, give it to him, whatever the case may be. Men are physical. They need it. Just like we need air and water, they need that box. So if your husband is constantly starting arguments with you, y'all on y'all way out the door. Y'all need to talk, but most importantly, you might want to learn why is this? Is it trash? Are you no longer doing what you're supposed to do? Is it dry? Is he cheating? I mean, there could be a variety of things, but there's definitely a problem.
All right, audience. Would anyone like to chime in on this question? Just raise your hand if you'd like to chime in. Come on, do we have anyone in here that's married? Let me see a show of hands. Who's married in here? Okay, who is in a deep committed relationship with just the two of you? Okay, so no one has a response to this question that they can share, not your personal information, your personal views or what you're going through, but I know you always have. All right, we got one in the back there. Remember guys, it's interactive, it drives the show. We want to hear from you what you have to say, so don't be shy. All right.
So it's a question, what do you do when your partner is getting into argument to avoid having sex? agree with what most of the panelists are saying. You first have to ask yourself why, and maybe take a moment to pause and change the setting. So like if you're in the kitchen going back and forth, let's say like, hey, I see we're not really communicating or understanding each other at this moment. Let's sit down on the couch and talk this out. Just kind of have a break. Because sometimes when those emotions get to flow, it can amplify like whatever you're putting out, and then it can be misunderstood. So I think it's just like you have to recognize those patterns and take moments to pause and then change how you're communicating in order to get to the root of why you're starting this argument so you can prevent these arguments from happening in the future.
I like that. I
just want to add one thing to that. And that's why it's very important to know your partner, because it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're doing anything wrong. You know, unfortunately, we come from a place where women have gone through things. They've gone through experiences and situations, and sometimes if we haven't done the proper work on ourselves, we bring our trauma into the relationship. So it could be a mechanism that maybe she's arguing to put a defensive mechanism up, or she has a flashback or something that is bothering her. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean that you are doing something wrong. You know, it just could be what somebody did to her, or flashback or something else is happening. And that's why it's important that you have to know yourself. You have to make sure that you are getting the therapy that you need, that you have those communications that are going on. And as men, we have to make sure that we are not the emotional side. Because sometimes if a woman tries to bait you into an argument, you have to be able to know your partner, to know sometimes chill, be quiet, you know, be able to sometimes just listen and let her get that esteem out and don't just react to it.
I like that addition.
You guys want to hold it on the phone. Every night you got someone in your house. This might be the night you let someone at home. There's something finished. And guess what? Tomorrow might be the night you play. But you know what I'm just saying though, every night you can't expect the shit. So that's why they have a little risk to it. Like, oh, no, not tonight. You gotta roll over to sleep. But if you don't make excuses, somebody cheat you. I'm saying, like it's a guy, whatever. Somebody getting this coochie, somebody getting this, you know, whatever it is. Somebody getting it. It's been like 2 months or something like that. It's crazy.
I see your face going, I see it.
And I'm gonna take it a step farther. She don't wanna get no coochie, just jack off right in front of her. Sometimes you just gotta do that. You don't wanna get no coochie, put on a porno right in front of her. That's fine, no worries, doing good. And just let it rip. I'm talking about just let it just go crazy. I bet you keep saying again, oh my God, you're jacking off. Yeah, but this guy is keep going. So yeah, sometimes that's what you gotta do. Let it out.
Please round it up.
So I'm listening, and things come to my mind. We looking at ED, maybe the dude have all of a sudden he's having blood pressure issues, he's taking medication, and it's affecting his manhood. A lot of men don't want to express that. Like I was in a motorcycle accident, unfortunately, dude knocked the hell out of me. And I had 4 spine surgeries, 2 neck, 2 lower spine. So it affected the nerves in my lower spine. And for a while, I was dealing with that, right? And so my wife was very, very understanding and made me feel really good in a bad time. But a lot of dudes, I don't have a problem opening up to my wife because she's so cool. But a lot of dudes, if they're going through that, they're not going to say it. I thought about that. I thought about what if the woman had fibroids and had to have a hysterectomy, right? Because, and then let's go even further. Men, eroticism with a woman starts in the mind. With us, we just see it and we ready to go. But for a woman, it takes longer. It takes longer to get into that mode, right? You have to whine and you have to make her feel good, rub some feet, listen to her, you know, maybe some poetry, put on the right mood music. You just can't, like a porno. It don't go like that, but unfortunately, the men who raised us, and I know y'all are way younger than me, but the men who, well, I'm almost 60, the men who raised us, or the guys who taught us the quote-unquote game, They was coming from a lot of bullshit names, excuse my French. So it's a lot of dynamics I see. It would have to depend on, that would have to be investigated a little more, you know what I'm saying, to see what's going on. Now, if it's just nothing is going on and he just continues to argue her to you might want to look at, maybe you don't want to be with the woman. Maybe. So that's it, all right, that's my round off.
All right, so the person who submitted that again, I hope you absorb that advice from our diverse panel and our audience members. All right, before we get into information, I have this question. This is very interesting. I have one, but I think I'm gonna ask this one. Okay, how do men create soul ties with women? And what does the process look like for a woman trying to break a soul tie? Let that marinate for a second. Donnell, I'm going to start with you on it. How do men create soul ties with women? And what does the process look like for a woman trying to break a soul tie?
Well, speaking on the first half, personally, you take my personality on. My inside jokes, you know, the stuff I say, you doing this to me now? I mean, you know, it's like, it's real interesting, like, you know, it's like, I'm like, oh, look at this. Now she doing that to me, I'm like, oh, okay. So I see it's very intimate in like joking and sex obviously, you know, that's one thing. But it's not a whole lot, it's just in my day-to-day life, you're living with me. So you learn me, I learn you, you know, we tie together with that. Now as far as breaking it, you just gotta come off all sides. If I got a kid together, cool. If I got a kid together, it's a little bit harder, but just it's like cut dry home, I don't know you anymore.
So just walk away.
You gotta feel it.
Cut off everything.
Yeah, cut everything off. Because everything, I mean, you can walk past the movie theater and see a movie, and oh, damn, I don't have to do it here. It's just y'all tied in. If y'all really locked in like that, like whoever I'm with, like I told my Beyonce, we got inside jokes, we got such a whole deal. Like, I can look at her a certain way, and she go there and look, and she'll laugh and giggle. Like right now, I did a couple times off the air. I can look at her and she like, it's real personal. Even my younger brother right there. Even my brother, I can look at him a certain way. This stuff that happened when he was like 10 years old. Yeah, I can look at him and do like this, and he's like, you know, it's like with that incident of connection. Y'all locked in for real. Everything else is official.
I like that. All right, Katie, what you think? What you got for us?
I think yours is a bit more physical sometimes. I think as a woman, it's far more spiritual. I think we have a deeper connection. I think for us, when we feel connected, we give them us. And there's a piece of us with them after we get intimate, right? But also when we connect, when he makes you laugh, when he makes you smile, when you see these things about him that make you fond of him, or just letting him take you into his life and you start to conform yourself to his life. So when they do break up, where do I go now? What do I do now? Because my life has been connected to his life. So I have to, find a new hobby or get connected with my friends now, which your friends should always be there. If they're not, there's a problem. But what I'm saying is it's far deeper for women. I think we take it to a whole nother level. And for us, I think women, you need to get some therapy. Men should too, but women get some therapy to make sure that you have stepped away from him and got everything out that you needed to, because we do have a deep feeling, right? And we need to process it. And it's not just with words, physically too. We have to feel this disconnect. And it could be meditation, right? It could be prayer. It could be a journal. There are ways, but that's what I think. Here you go.
One more thing, like from a practical state, if we go way back to before stuff is civilized, a woman's goal is to find a man they can be around so they can protect it. It was like unruly at a certain point. So that's a lot of trust. So you know what? You can take care of me, I won't die. Like, if they're not going to dad, they have to have a man to be around. So it get real like deep when you think about that way too. I like what you said.
Oh, yeah. I think it works. Spiritual, physical, shifting what you got.
The soul ties, it definitely starts with the physical, but in order for you to keep it, it has to be something, deeper than that. Like you said, it has to
spiritual connection, that mental connection. I think sometimes, we as men, when we get to the protection of a woman and taking care of a woman, we just always necessarily think financial, making sure that they physically are keeping them, but it's really a lot of mental. If you're not mentally and spiritually keeping the woman, then you're not solely tied to her, right? Because guess what? You want to have arguments that come up, you want to have trials and tribulations that come up, and those trials and tribulations that come up in your relationship, that's what really binds you together. Because it's one thing for you to say you love somebody, it's one thing for you to say I'll spend the rest of your life with somebody, but it's one thing when that is put to the test when you've been do something and it's like, oh, we can't do that together. And now it's like when I look at my woman or you look at your man, you like, it's a deeper connection because we've been through something, we've been through those trials and tribulations, we've had that experience together that bonds us and ties us together, especially when you bring children into the mix. That's like a different, connection because it's like you have reproduced that man, like you reproduce yourself. So that child is naturally going to bind out together, but it's those trials and tribulations that you have, that you want to break those soul ties, you really have to like disconnect from them mentally and spiritually be able to go back and fall back in love, with yourself. Because sometimes we lose ourselves in relationships, and that's why, like I said, it's important for us to have the dear people, to have that, because you want to bring your whole self to that relationship.
Nice. All right, the verdict.
Okay, so everything that you guys said, I agree 110%. What you guys are explaining is, the word for it is called imprinting. Yes, so I got that from my husband's book. It's called Alpha Diaries by Carrie and Beckham. He also has a second book called Why She Left You. And as I edited both books, I learned the reason him and I are soul tied is because he imprinted me, right? So everything that you guys are saying, he learned me, I learned him, he mimicked the things that I liked, I wanted, I yearned for. Sometimes we pillow talk and we tell a man what we didn't have, what we need, what we desire. And when they really love you, they become those things. They wanna make sure that you are fulfilled and you are protected, especially if you have a story, a story that you've been let down in life. That really can create a soul tie. Of course, having sex, that's the number one thing. When a man enters a woman, you guys are sealing the deal. That's why it wasn't intended for us to have multiple digging sticks in us, right? Because those men leave their soul inside of us. Hence why a lot of women are so crazy, because they haven't been able to release those soul ties. And I believe that the only way to truly release those soul ties, number one, go get a yoni steam. You gotta clean that cat out first. That's number one. But most importantly, you definitely gotta pray. You gotta keep God at the center of everything, because He's the only one that's gonna be able to release that man, release those feelings, those memories, that affection that you had. It's gonna take time. You're gonna cry it out. But the one thing that I would encourage is that you don't try to get over a man by getting under another man, because I hear people tell women that all the time, and even though it sounds fun and you're outside and it's a good time, the reality of it is you're just getting damaged even more, right? So you're trying to get rid of one soul tie, but now you can sex another man, now you got another soul tie. Now you're crazy as shit. We don't want that, right? So take some time for yourself, pray, and that's my answer.
I like that. All right, audience members, anybody wants to chime in on this question? Y'all being shy tonight. I don't think I've ever seen a crowd so shy. All right, one last shot. Yeah, they do. I need to waken you up a little bit. All right, you have one in the back. Hold on, wait for the mic, my love.
Just so I make sure I answer to the best of my ability.
Sure. How do
just, but you do need solitude, like it's not something that you should just be trying to go around, but somebody else, the next person, can maybe, not only will you get STDs, you don't get, a lot of problems spiritually. That's all.
Thanks for your response, I like it. All right, we have one in the corner there, Keith.
All right, mine is simple. It's deep emotional response, being able to connect with who you're with and continue the flow, continue the communication. And that's how you develop a soul tie.
Straight to the point, I like that one. All right, Coach Dale, can you run this off for us?
Definitely try. So soul tie implies to me that, especially a man initiating soul tie with a woman, implies to me that the man is a level, he has reached a level of spiritual connectedness, right, with self, because we know that God and man are one. He has studied self, so off the top, you get to know your creator, and you know your possibilities, you know what you want, what you don't want, what's good for you, what's not. So when you establish that, and you meet a woman and you establish that soul tie, that's that spiritual man connecting with this woman's spirit, right, in my opinion. And so that connects them. If a woman breaks a soul tie, to me, that implies that has never happened to me, so I'm only assuming with this. I know I started a soul tie. I've never had a lady or woman break one. But I would say that implies to me that either she's not happy in the relationship any longer or found something else, and betrayal has crept its way up in there. That's a heavy one. But soul tie, you go on. I got something to say to the men and the young men. Excuse my silence. I got a shot for you. Eventually, sex drive is going to take over. Oh my God. Coach Dale, you said that. Wait a minute. Yes, eventually, it's going to take off. So now you got to ask yourself, who am I with? What does she bring? What do I bring? Because the sex can take it off. I'm 60. My wife is 61. So now we enjoy each other's company. We cuddle, right? We go to the crib as friends, right? Confidants. You got to start when you pick, and I don't want to preach, but when you go to pick one another, not just because I got a granddaughter, no, I talk to them too. When you go to pick your partner, go beyond the physical. You have to look and say, can I see myself with this person in the future? When we're old and wrinkled and things ain't working right, can I trust this person with my future? That's when it's all soul tie. So I want to.
And thank you for opening with that, Coach Dale. All right, so before we head into intermission and hand it over for the talent showcase, I want you to just think about this question, because I kind of like this question right here. Panelists, I'm going to lay the question out, just keep it in your mind, and when we come back after intermission, we'll go straight back into it. My man and I agreed to tell each other the truth no matter what. We went to the fertility clinic to get his sperm checked. His phone died before we left the house. After the appointment, I asked him, what did he think about while masturbating? He replied, an ex that passed away. I asked him, why not me? He replied that he just wanted to hurry and get it over quickly. There hasn't been any state, or let's see, any problems in our relationship. But now, I have been feeling a type of way for him bringing up his dead ex. Are my feelings valid, or am I being insecure? Let that marinate. And whilst we do that, I'm going to hand it over to Dee to head us all into the talent showcase. But before we get to that, we're going to introduce our members.
How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? All right, before we get into the artist showcase, we gonna let the vendors introduce what they have over here. And then we also gonna allow Mona Lisa to let y'all know what she got going on also. So we gonna start off, and if y'all have got a raffle ticket, make sure y'all get one.
Hello everyone, how you doing? My name is Mark, I'm the CEO of Monark Travel Entertainment. We're a travel agency that specializes in all-inclusive packages sending people all over the world. You can book flight, hotel, rental cars, destination weddings, cruises, excursions, and you can also get concert tickets, sporting event tickets, all in one spot. Monark Travel Entertainment, you can scan the QR here. You can go to all our social media websites and also our website as well. Monarch Travel Entertainment is a great time to get away. Thank you.
I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just really. Yeah.
Check, check, check.
Thank you. Anyway, I was saying, I have Skimas, I have the aphrodisiac tea that you can sample. I have the yoga stick that's the latest discussion because for the women that may not be aware, a man's pH is much higher than a woman's. So when we are done with relationships, they are still imprinted inside of us. So it's always one of the best things you can do for yourself as a woman is to perform yoga things because it provides the spiritual aspect.
Hold on. And can we keep the side of it down? She's trying to talk.
Thank you. So, as they were speaking about soul ties, it's very important. I was just saying how a man's pH is higher than a woman's. So we are really not done with men all the way after a breakup. So yoni steam is definitely one of the greatest things that a woman can do after letting go of a relationship. So I do have organic yoni steam herbs, bath herbs. As I was saying before, most of my herbal products are for women, but I do have sea moss, an aphrodisiac tea that is formulated for women and men. And and I also have incense like Palo Santo and sage. So all the herbal goodies this way. I do have a website, and you can follow me on Instagram. I also offer online digital herbal courses where you can create your own perfumes and learn about beauty herbs for women as well. So that's a little bit about me.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I have coffee, tea, and loose leaf teas. The name of the company is called Java Mama. It's a company that's clean and green, located here in the States, and it's no more Starbucks. That's all. No more Starbucks. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's enjoying this event. I know I am. I am Mona Lisa, owner of Mona Lisa's Lyrics, a full-service entertainment company. So the only thing that I really want to impress upon everyone this evening is that if you have a talent, if you're a vocalist, a poet, a comedian, a musician, or if you own a business and you have products or services that you want the whole entire world to know about, That is what my mission is through Mona Lisa's lyrics, to physically take and lead the way in independent artists being able to create and fund their own tours. So if you don't want to be stuck behind a major record label, if you don't want to be a slave to someone else's ideas of what you should be and how the world should see you, then let's talk. I love this panel. I love what you have going on today. And I look forward to collaborating with you guys soon, hopefully, because the thought process of life and relationships, and especially how do you have a relationship in business? You're a business owner. How do you do that too? So I am so happy that you guys were able to listen to me for 5 seconds. And I am Mona Lisa, MONA, LIZZA. If you go online, just please Google me, all of my stuff comes up. So if you're an independent artist or a business owner and you want your products or services internationally known and physically travel with us to London and Brazil and the Bahamas, then reach out to me. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna get ready. All right, y'all, we're gonna get ready to get the talent showcase going. So, every show, we allow people with talent to be able to come and showcase their talent. So, can I get everyone's attention? Can I get everyone's attention? Y'all hear me? If y'all hear me, snap your fingers. Snap your fingers. Okay, this is the segment where we have the artists come up and perform. So if you all know anybody that have talent, if you yourself have talent, this is an opportunity for you to showcase your talent. So tonight we have a treat for y'all, and we're gonna allow them to come up to the stage and talk about what they got going on and being played the stage for y'all. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all ready? Okay, I'm gonna introduce Mike Mello and Mike Brown.
Flip it up. Flip up. No, sorry.
Yeah.
There you go.
1, 2, 1, 2.
What up, though? What up, though?
What up, dog?
There you go. All right. Well, yeah, I'm Mike Brown. This is my partner, Bello. That's my team over there at RMG. You know what I'm saying? We've been working on putting this together for a couple of years now. You know what I mean? We started the label, started with a publishing company. Then it was just a bunch of us, you know, we just came together and put together some good work. You know, I'm trying to find a way to make the product and push it. You know. We just did a backpack drive for some kids last month. We also, my man Fancy, a chef as well. My man's Will over there, he's a teacher, teach Voltech, anything from HVAC to, you know, we got a lot of things going on. But at the end of the day, you know, we're just trying to get out here and make our own footprint and make sure we are household names at the end of the day. You know, and this is my partner, Fellow, want to do some stuff.
What up, how y'all doing tonight? Motor City representative, related music group. And I ain't gonna talk too much, we're just gonna get straight to the music and hope y'all will entertain.
I don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm just really.
And this song is called Stay Alive.
We're gonna piece it all together.
On Breeze 3 album, on all platforms.
Yeah. Look, for what it's worth, I see the work and go to work. Ain't no fool yet, of course I put you first. But see, we need to be a gift and use a curse. All the that really means is stay alive. All the thing I really did, I played it cool. I came to class like I'm signing up for school. I set the vibe so everything can go smooth. What I be losing down the still dropping jewels. I can't take that when I see it, but I feel like you on edge, hoping to get to your head, but if it did to you, I'm dead, yeah.
the bitch gon' fuck my piece. Really feel it's too expensive. On top of that, we never had a problem that expensive. Better run away from my block, I used to flip on. At the corner shoes, and you can tell that you been picked on. It's forgiven, the fruit originally was forbidden. Nowadays, they don't market everything that they give. But what about your spirit? How you feel you in control? You could've paid the price to see how rather feed your soul. But it wasn't in return to speech, you had to feel me go. So that pride, that one burn, for what it's worth, I see the work and good work. Ain't no fool, yeah, of course I put you first. But see, to me, to be a gift, you use a curse. All the record I really need to stay alive. All the things I really did, I played it cool. I came to class like I'm signing up for school. I set the vibe so everything can go smooth. What I've been losing down is still driving jewels. Y'all go take the only thing I came in ease for you. Look the mind and process everything I bring for you. Different levels that I introduce, they still important. Can't even let you around when I make sure you spoil. That's it. We got something special, together something for you. We got our really slow and sing it some fun. Know that they'll talk about heating up like it was soil. We just started starting, but I got to see the soil. It's reflective as a present, free your mindset from that prison. Most people that see yourself with life ain't really truly living. How you gon' be around and you keep driving in the limit? You wanna make this right, you always focus on your feelings. Once I find a way to make it fix, we gon' see it set, dress back. Listen, what they down, put the table slack. Understand we don't want about it, when you keep we got. Love pretty man, about like campus, pushing through the smoke. And what I say is go and listen, what we got is go. I feel something that is showing. Scaling like this ocean, or like you just go. Even when I'm back and forth, those two niggas growing.
And I'm gonna make it pretty angels to another place when it's that you can't erase. Like I said, got me about to catch another case. Snake charmer hit a bitch with a train. Spinning ass stance with that sideways wing. I was on you when I see you with your friend. I don't wanna waste another second. Let's begin. I knew that you was different, had to get my mind right. Even came to tell you what I see in hindsight. Had to kiss a family and I made some bright lights. Get you way to bring best things as mine. We're here to keep in touch with girls all in the big most entertaining shit. Step into a trip, you know that us together can be on another level. Until the next time, girl, you know you're so special.
Catch us at 313 RMG YouTube channel, Instagram at Old City Level.
You can catch us on all platforms at MIC Brown, and then on YouTube RMG 313. And then we got next month we got another show coming up too, man, down Cass, Open Up Bazaar. Just keep on the lookout for us, man. Hopefully we can shake hands, network, get things going, and probably see y'all next month.
Yo, give it up. This is an opportunity for anybody who have talent to be able to showcase your talent. So we do this every last Wednesday of the month. So if you got any friends or even yourself, this is an opportunity for you to showcase your talent. So make sure that y'all follow us at Heart to Heart. That's HEART, the number 2. HEARTRTS. And then also continue to submit in your questions. Because we know y'all have questions and we want to answer them. If this is your first time, don't let this be here last time. Tell a friend, bring a friend. So we're gonna get the show back started. So I hope y'all ready to start participating on this half, because y'all was kind of quiet on the first half. So this is an interactive show. So in order for us to break down relationships, we got to get input from everybody. We don't want just a panel to be able to answer the questions. We want you all to answer the questions too. So can we get the panelists to come back to the stage? Y'all feel me? Y'all with me? Okay. And y'all can continue to submit any questions throughout the night. If we don't answer them tonight, we will make sure that we get to them on a later show. So make sure that y'all tune in with us every last Wednesday of the month. If your questions are answered this show, we'll be able to answer you next time. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing back out, y'all.
Everybody can hear me fine? Yes. You only hear one person. Thank you. Are we ready to get back into these questions that were submitted? Ready? Ready? Come on, everybody! Alright, so we're going to get back into the question that was submitted. I hope my panelists let it simmer into their system, let it marinate. When you're ready? We're ready. You good? Yeah, read it one more time. This is alright, so refresher question. My man and I agreed to tell each other the truth no matter what. We went to the fertility clinic to get his sperm checked. His phone died before we left the house. After the appointment, I asked him what he thought about while masturbating. He replied an ex that passed away. And I asked him, why not me? He replied he just wanted to hurry up and get it over with. There hasn't been any comments in our relationship, but now I have been feeling a type of way bringing up his dead ex. Are my feelings valid? Or am I insecure? You got an answer? All right. Let's hear it.
Your feelings are always valid and you feel. So that's not like to be debated about how you feel, how you feel. However, it's certain questions you ask. If I give you the real answer, you can't get that. I want to. Now, if she had told her that, I'll be done. That's a weird thing to say to somebody, but that's how they feel. So if you want transparency, you gotta do everything up with you. If you want somebody transparent, you gotta tell them to take everything up with transparency. So you can't pick and choose when you want somebody transparent. You can just lie and say, oh, everything about you, and everything will be no problem. But you told you the truth, because you had one to be like, I believe on that ex, I believe on that casket cat. You feel like that.
Oh my God. First of all, if your man, we gotta talk about this, if your man thinks that it's more appropriate to masturbate to his ex that's dead, then your ass is about to see her, because I'm about to kill you too. You about to be right there with her ass. You ain't gotta think about her anymore, because your ass about to go meet her. That's number one, okay? Number two, I love the transparency, and I love that for us. But the question is bigger than that. The question is, why is that thought the thought that makes you come faster than me? Okay, and I got another question. I can understand. Why? So basically, are you trying to say y'all sex was better? You're still lusting over her because lust is sinful, so you're lusting over your ex's bed. Am I a second option? Am I a second choice? And no, you're not insecure. That would make any woman or man feel the exact same way. If I told my man that, he would be like, oh, what's going on here? So he got some real issues going on.
You are not insecure. But there is some unfinished business between your man and his ex. And it needs to get resolved because something is going on. That is just not right. Yes, she's dead. But there's some unfinished business with him. Like something's going on. He needs some therapy. Is what I did. He needs some therapy. All right, Chef Jay, you look like you're still thinking about the question.
I don't understand why you just me off the table. But I mean, like you said, transparency. Say, like I said, what you said, there be some therapy. Definitely not over those feelings, especially somebody that's there. Obviously, that soul connection. He feels tied, deeply with that soul connection. There's something that he's hasn't got over. So just a communication that has to happen, and you should not overlook it.
Can you hear me? All right, remember the question, are my feelings valid?
The feelings are definitely valid. Like you said, well, it's a question like, what did you just say? Your feelings is definitely valid, something that should be another conversation about for sure. Like right now.
All right, is there anyone in my audience that wanted to chime in on this question asked? Masturbating to your ex whilst your wife is out there and having a date with your wife? All right, you got some hands up. That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, we're gonna listen. Okay. First of all, I love the panel. You guys are really awesome. I have learned a lot this evening. No, I have. I've learned a lot this evening because women think so differently from men. Like our minds are, when men say their answers, most of the time I look like, wait. So it's good to hear the men's response along with what we as women, things going on. Okay, so first of all, it's one thing to be honest, and then it's another thing to be honest. I don't believe I want to know or need to know that you, when you're doing that in your private time, that's a private activity sometimes, unless you let the couple decide to do that. But it's a private activity. I would never ask a man who I'm dating, first off, who are you thinking about when you're doing that? Because first off, it's a million other women in this world, other than me. And please do let your imagination run wild, but while touching me, okay? But you don't have to be honest. I believe in honesty. But there are some things that you need to keep to yourself. She is not being insecure. He planted a seed of, mistrust in her. Because him saying that he is thinking about somebody else, women, we never want you. I don't care if she living dead back in the 16th century. I don't care. I don't want to hear it though. All right, thanks for listening. All right, you have a few.
So to the question as to whether she's valid in her feelings, absolutely positive. She's valid in her feelings, but you cannot pick and choose when you want to embrace that transparency. You ask for transparency, you got the transparency. Now, are you sure enough to handle the transparency? Again, masturbation is a fantasy. I reckon to say every man in here has or does masturbate, and I doubt many of us or any of us are thinking of our mate when we do so. It's a fantasy. You have to embrace that. My point is that you can't pick and choose when you want transparency. So you were bold enough to pose that question. You have to be strong enough to take that answer. Good, bad, or good.
Yeah, I have a response. I'm a little bit older, so that question.
One second. Remember, guys, the table talk volume, keep it on a low so that we can respect those who are talking. Thank you.
I'm a little bit older, so that question about is a person's feelings valid? It can go two ways. All feelings are valid because some feelings that a person has may not not be contributed to another person, right? So your mate may have valid feelings, true enough, but are those feelings legit? That's a whole other question. We talked about the masturbation thing, and what was said about imagination. So he's very correct in saying that when you are masturbating, that is something that you're using your imagination with, and you're not thinking about the person that you're with. You're usually thinking about a fantasy person or a fantasy situation. That's what gets people to watch porn and be aroused and that type of thing. You can't interject everything that you know mate or in a relationship with, interject it with every situation that you're doing. That would be a guy. Because what you and yourself are doing by yourself is something private. Like she said, it was private. Men like porn. Some women like porn. At that point in time, if you watching porn, that's something you're doing by yourself. So the feeling of what you're doing is not valid, because the simple fact is you're not thinking about her and what y'all have, you're thinking about a whole different scenario.
Okay, hey, love the panelists, love what y'all got going on, heart to heart. This is my first time here. And it's not my last freedom, coach. You know, to the question, it's about the stage. So we got to understand the stage of the relationship when this is being said. Of course, transparency and honesty, you know, are different. Transparency is, I'm gonna volunteer something. Honesty is, if you ask me something, I'm gonna be honest with you. So we looking at that. So let's put that in the context of what stage is this relationship on. If you don't know your partner, I think you know, you might can take that leap and you get the response like, whoa, that ain't what I should be doing to my significant other, right? Because trauma and triggers are real, right? However, if she has shown that she is open to really exploring who you are and you can be that honest, that's something to do. So it just depends on the context. But either way, it's not a right or wrong answer unless the partner is wrong for the context.
My bad, I didn't look, but you know your partner enough to know what you want to solicit. You ask A, B, and C. You know them enough, you didn't really say, you know how they're going to react to it. So it's kind of like a rage bait thing. If I respond in that manner and I know how you are, I kind of put you in a position. Like, well, who do this other week? I would be from my experience. I knew she had it. I knew she would react that way. So it's really like when you sit on your partner. You know who you can handle.
You know what you're getting into.
Yeah, you know who you can handle. Okay, so you protect the person you love the best way you can. And that's the part of hearing about their feelings.
All right, I'll just have Judge Thomas respond real quick and then hand it over to you, okay?
Earth to men. I want to tell every man in here, okay? Because y'all claim that y'all know women, but y'all obviously don't know women just like we don't know men. We say we want the truth, but in reality, some shit you gotta just lie. Some things you cannot be that honest about. We are women with emotions at the end of the day. And even if there's a woman that's telling you, no, it didn't hurt me, it did hurt her. She has to be a psychopath for that not to bother her. That you're thinking about another woman at a time where y'all are about to try to have a child. And guess what? She's dead. So, like, you can even think of somebody that was alive. Like, so if a woman is telling you that that doesn't bother her, and you don't have the social intelligence to understand that that's gonna bother any woman, then that's on you. We like to be lied to, even though we say we like the truth. That's just the honest to God truth. I mean, some stuff you can be honest with, but you have to have sense in these situations. So.
You can't handle it.
That's right. That's right.
All right, we have one more for that before I hand it over to Michelle.
So I agree with some of the responses. I would say there's a difference between telling the truth and being honest. Because the truth could have been like, trust me, you don't really know the truth. which is also the truth, because you gotta know when to discern and reduce how much you share with your partner. Like, some people are saying, you're not supposed to share everything. And to the point where you're talking about porn, like, certain things with sex is very private to somebody. With porn, there's all different types of categories that people don't even share about, that they want to keep to themselves. So even with him masturbating to his ex, if that was me, I just would say like, yeah, baby, you don't want to know. Or actually, like, it's confidential, like, that's just something I can't tell you. And she'd be like, why? Just tell me, just tell me, just tell me. You just gotta stand on business and be like, I ain't gonna tell you. Because if I tell you, it's gonna hurt you.
All right, Coach Dale, wrap us up first.
Yes. Woo! Man. So, I agree with the young brother, as well as the sister, I didn't catch her name. But something, and well as good, some things, man, you just don't say. Like, for example, you know, if your woman has a rose, right, a rose toy, she's probably not necessarily thinking about you when she takes care of business. But I don't want to know, because that's a fantasy, right? You still a human being. We're two human beings coexisting as one, right? So if I masturbate, because technically she don't want to have sex with me tonight, but I gotta get this one off. I gotta get one off. I'm going to the shower, I'm gonna stay extra long, a little extra time, right, in the shower. Okay, I'm handling my business. I might be thinking about these people, I don't know, but it ain't real. But, so my thing is, sometimes though, you just don't, certain questions, I would say don't set yourself up with, if my woman would have said, hey, okay, who did you hit one on? You know what I'm saying? But I'm curious. I'd be like, that's my business. They said that's confidential. It's HIPAA rules. It's HIPAA. I can't disclose because of HIPAA. So that's the truth. That's it. That's why I stand on. And some things, man, you got, you know, sometimes some truths, like the sister said, a woman would men too. Hey, baby, tell me the truth all the time. Okay, I slept with 30 men before I got my soul right. What? You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
All right, so if you can't handle the truth, don't ask for it. Okay, I'm gonna this question. All right, let's change gears a little bit. If you have dated a man for a year and have not met any of his friends or family, should you stay? He claims to be a loner and not close with his family. That's weird. All right, that's one of them. All right, Katie, what you got for us?
So, if they're not around their family, there must be something wrong. And if there's no friends around, then I am gonna guess that there is something wrong. Because we go through life, we meet people, and if people like us, they stay. And whether we have a good relationship with our family or not, a friend or not, whatever, I mean, good ones stay around, right? If you don't have any friends and you're not seeing your family, I think it's all kinds of red flags. I would say get out.
Yeah, get out. Right, and now what you got?
Just cut the chase on that. You side chick. That's it. I don't want no problem like that. No, we got four workers. We got people. If I don't want you around like I know, that means somebody that needs to be around is not you. If I see you over here, she's around. Not you. They're gonna be like, oh, who's that? That's it.
I like that straight to that. Chef Jay, what you got?
Yeah, I definitely agree, like, especially being around the whole year. We go to the Christmas party, we go to Thanksgiving dinner, or birthday. It's definitely, something, is going on. Like, even if that person is not
like close to their family, like you got friends, like you said, you got coworkers, like you got, somebody, and that's where the courtship versus dating comes in, right? Because when you're courting somebody, you're not just courting them, like you're courting their family, you're trying to get to know their background. Like if you go, in the court, you go to a trial, like they want to know where the witnesses, where the evidence, like everything, like you have to be able to know all sides of that person. Like you can't just take one side of that person. So if that person, I want you to run that family, then they don't really need to be like that.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Can I play devil's advocate? Okay, so get this. Some people truly are loners. They don't deal with their parents. I know this may sound crazy, but you don't know what happened in people's lives, right? They may not deal with their parents. They may have already started off with only just one parent because maybe the daddy left or whatever the case may be. And they may not have siblings. They may not like people in their business. And if they're not going to the Christmas parties or they're not going to these things, then it may be legit that they don't have anyone to introduce you to. And so, is it weird? Absolutely. But can it be that as a situation without it being something negative as far as like having someone else? Yeah, that doesn't go to say that something may not be wrong with them, or they may not have traumas in their life, but there are some people who are very standoffish, very private, very just to themselves. They go to work, they don't make friends at work, they go to their job, they take care of what they have to take care of. And I just want to say something biblically. The Bible says that you leave your mother and your father and you cling on to your wife, right? So a lot of times you just may be all they need. Is it weird? Once again, yeah, but it can happen.
That's what I didn't do, because I know I was alone and stuff. I get that. Yeah, all right, audience, anybody wants to chime in on this, okay?
So this is the same thing, obviously, some of it's like first G, whatever, but we gotta ask more questions. Okay? To try to get down to what it is. What package did you sign up for? Because sometimes people sign up for a trial package and then they try to turn it into, well, we're not a relationship, we're not a couple. So you kind of gotta get down to the minutia of all of it. Like, okay, how y'all meet? What did y'all talk about? What did you say you were gonna do? And it goes down all the way down to the nitty gritty of the conversation, because once again, because we had sex 15 times, and I stayed over there, our two persons over there, now we're a couple. You gotta kind of know what's going on from there, and then it's like, I didn't introduce you to nobody because we just played. So we gotta kind of look at that angle as well. But y'all hit it right on the nose. But me personally, I'm gonna keep asking questions, trying to get down to it. But you ain't gonna know all this, No, you kind of know what it is, but you're accepting it by staying. So, am I gonna cut it off? Probably not, because you're accepting that role. But once again, it goes back to what package you signed up for.
Age plays the factor in that too. Are we 19, 20, 21, are we 35? Am I trying to have a family? If I'm serious with you, you make my family. I'm 19, 20, 21, party. It don't matter. I don't see what I see. But a year, that's a nice amount of time to be around somebody on a regular basis. You don't know anything about me. You ain't got my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my cousin. You got somebody in your life who you lean on. There are times you need somebody other than the person you follow. So you ain't even done, not my best friend, it's one or two people you gonna be, even if I'm alone. I got at least two people I know that I need help. Well, somebody, you know.
As somebody who's been out here dating, never been married, no children, for the last 48 years of my life, when you meet somebody special, you're excited to introduce them to your people, or whoever your people may be. Like, this is my best friend behind me, the last one that I dated that I was fully into. I was excited to introduce them, hey, there's this stuff out here she would meet. So like, this person has nobody in their life that they're excited to introduce you to, whether it be family, friends, any kind of big affiliation, whatever the case may be. 100%, I feel that's a red flag on either side, because you never want to I'm not going to say you, but that's not a bad thing to say.
We're not going to give anybody after X amount of time, X amount of interaction. That's what we're like. Most people are excited to show that person off to the people that matter to the most.
I like that one, show them off, I agree with that. All right, was there anyone that wanted to chime in? All right, Coach West, drop this question.
I would say, so I have a thing. If I meet a woman and say to my son, say, hey dad, what do you think about this young lady? And the first thing I'll ask is, what is her relationship with her mother, her grandmother? Do she have friends? If he say, well, nah, she don't really have too many female friends, you might want to go slow. A woman who cannot get along with other women, red flag. A dude who cannot get along with other men, red flag. So my thing is, I'll ease on out the picture. That's me. That's just my 2 cents.
However, you spoke about the friendships if the women don't get along with other women. Why would you say that?
What I mean is, in order for a woman to become a woman, you have to have examples, right? So you got good examples. So say it's your grandmother, your mother, teach you how to be a woman, teach you how to get along with other women. So what you will notice is that young woman will grow into a woman who can have relationships and friendships with other women. She's not taken. So you can just, I've seen young ladies, if another young lady come into the room or come to see, here's that. That's what I'm saying. So it's healthy. You have to have a healthy atmosphere. Men, because you have some men. What did he do to you? Oh, you know what I'm saying? That's trauma. That's not healthy. So if a person is alone and they can't get along with people, not even their family, for me, we don't have, I can't be around it.
I wouldn't think that all that, say anything, everything. If you can't get along with you, I'm not saying something wrong with you, but you should be over here for along with you. You gotta do something wrong. You can't get along with others. Like kids, you're in school, if they say doesn't play with others, it's their life. Well, oh, he's a man, he is. When you're in school, you get project work, your kid's like 7 years old, they say doesn't get along with others. That's what they call it. So if you're a human and you're wrong, why is that not really like? I don't get along with nobody, man. I don't get along with dogs, cats.
Can I say this real quick? I'm sorry. I did 20 years in prison. Now, during that bid, I have a 192927. I left in 1987. I was 17 and a half. Not proud, but it was a part of my life. That person is the stepping stone to the man I am today. So, what I learned during that process, a lot of times they put me in a hole, so I was able to grow spiritually and mentally.
Oh, y'all are too loud.
Come on, take top volume, back to low. Let's be respectful for those who are speaking so we can hear them. Thank you.
So one of the blessed things that I was able to learn by going to the hole, they kept putting me in the hole of segregation, was that I was able to go inside the cell and really see who I was. I grew up toxic, right? So my mother, she was an addict and she was abused, so everything she would say is quote unquote nigga ain't shit, right? So I didn't know that growing up as a black man, she was talking about me. So I seen another black man like shit. Well, then you can tell me that I would rob you, I would hurt you, because I didn't love myself. It took me to go to the home to be able to be separated from everything called reality, to do soul searching, right? And so that's how I was able to get an understanding of the importance of not only loving myself, but loving God. I was not in that environment, so that was a big thing, and that's why I embrace it.
All right, as we head in still over there, you can head on over to Monark Travel to get your ticket for that 4-day, 3-night vacation. Not included, but it's for vacation. All right, so this last question. What wrote this? I have a girl I want to lock in with, but I feel like she likes me more because of my emotion. But before, it was harder to get her. So we slept with her, and now we got her. Okay. So I have a girl I want to lock in with, but I feel like she likes me more because of my emotion. We're making an assumption that's what that means. Right. But before, it was harder to get her. This is just the question. So, do you have... Right, and now she wants. So, what advice would you give to this individual? And I'm going to start with Katie, I'm going to do the right action. So I think it's good for him to be cautious, for sure. I mean, it sounds like it could have been that kind of avenue, but at the same time, I mean, she's getting to know you now, and maybe there were things about you that she misjudged, and maybe hasn't opened up a lot of this we're communicating and talking about. But you see what I mean with that? It's just like sometimes you could just misinterpret somebody based on what you see on the outside. Once you actually get to know them, you're like, wow, this person is actually really cool. I really do want to get to know them. But she needs to talk about it. That's what I think. This question is interesting. All right, Chef Jay, what do you got?
You know, that is a very interesting question, especially when it comes to Russia, because, you know, sometimes women, you know, women are very interesting, and men are very interesting. And I feel like you should accept a man for who they are, and who they are authentically, and not what they have, okay? But on the other side of that, a woman naturally wants a man to maintain her. She naturally wants a man to take care of her. So maybe it was a potential that she saw in you that she was waiting to be manifested, and now that she sees that manifested, now she's drawn to you more, and that's when you have to ask those right questions, have the communication to really understand, you know, that she want me just because of my status, or does she want me because of who I really am? And what did she do during that time when I did have that emotion going on to encourage me to get to that status?
Oh wait, sorry, before you continue, can you just let everybody know who you are, where they can find you?
Oh yes, my name is Katie Wallen, Kaiti. You can find me on just about every Instagram, Facebook, X. I'm on them all. Painted Creek Productions is the production company. You can Google us, you'll find us. But yeah, that's my info. All right, Chef Jay.
Chef Jay, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Supreme Cafe, or you can visit my restaurant on the west side of Detroit at 18111 Wyoming Street.
Nice, all right.
Okay, so excuse my French. I heard this being yesterday, and he said, I remember when they didn't have, when they told a joke, and the bitch didn't laugh. No, that's it. Like, it didn't laugh, and at first I thought, once you got the money, oh, everything funny. So that's kind of just what it is, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, everybody wants to win. So you gotta go win, and then you go get what you want. And that's just what it is. That's why you should even go back to the first two questions. You should even look at the one you want to. happenstance, the person who will find you like she knows man. But if you want to be real, like there's not, don't nobody care about men for real. I don't care about you. But nobody care about me. Ain't no something like I'm so hard to I know. I haven't done this in my heart for some people. All people, really. But the average person don't care about you as a grown man for real, especially black men. So you gotta go win anyway. Whole world. Whole world.
Remind everybody about where they can find you.
It's like the 2 seconds away when you start like that. Yeah, you can find me everywhere, man. My name is Jay Clayton, and that's it. Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Tubi, everywhere. So, I know Jay Clayton. Thank you all so much.
All right, hear me and hear me very well. Men, especially black men, stop being simps, stop being beta, stop being pussies. If a woman has displayed to you that she was not interested when you did not have motion, then you will be a fool to deal with that woman once you have motion. I would prefer you deal with another woman who knows nothing about you, because at this point you have to choose another opinion if you have motion. My husband has a chapter in his book that says, if she doesn't deal with you in her prime, then don't fuck with her during her decline, right? You have to really watch who you allow in your life and in your space. And that tells a lot about a woman. First of all, they used to call them sack chasers. That's a sack chaser, right? That's a person who's a clout chaser as well. And what are you looking for? If you're looking for longevity in a relationship, you need authenticity. What if you no longer have that motion? Is she gonna leave you? What if you no longer have the money? Is she gonna be there for you? You need to look for a woman who's solid through and through, whether you have or you don't have. And that's what's really important.
I would say start by just having a conversation. I think with a lot of these topics, it's having a conversation with the person, and then asking what makes me believe that she didn't accept me before I had motion. Because that could be something I'm making up in my head, that she didn't accept me before I had motion, versus did I just become stable? Is she just now accepting me because maybe you got a job, maybe you're able to take me out. But having that conversation, don't be scared of having those tough conversations.
Can't be a relationship coach and know you're trying to answer these questions. So I get it.
So I tried to hit pretty much the point. I'll just add a little side note to it. So if you action plan, so if I'm talking to that person, you trying to figure out what's going on, right? I would say listen to her actions. So what I mean by that is like take her out, see how she treats the waiter or the waitress. You know what I mean? If she's asking for money, you gotta put some steps in motion to try to see and get some type of living. You hit it right on the head. Sometimes we be making stuff. We play so many scenarios in our head, and it's like, yeah, this is how it's gonna end. No. Watch the actions, and it's gonna tell you the truth. So take that person out, and if they're asking for money, the only time they hit you up is when they're in a, oh man, my DTE shut up. Just don't stay shut up. What? Now you know. That you have to put them in certain situations like that.
All right. Thanks for that, Coach Shea. All right. Anybody else wanting to chime in on the question or share that advice? All right, Coach Shea.
Well, yeah. So Sister Nita met me when I call it Sister Nita. I wasn't nothing. She seen a diamond in the rough. I think that's a very special woman that can see a diamond when I didn't see it. She seen the potential when I didn't see it. And so now 840 credit score on my home, on my business, and I brought her up. So, and she helped to make me believe in me. So that's powerful to me. In this scenario, I like what the brother said. The brother said sometimes it could be in your mind. Had a conversation. She could have always thought you was interested, but needed to see some incentive. Could have been that. So that's a great one. But yeah, for me, like I said, in my situation, Sister Nita, she accepted me from nothing, and man, listen, God is good. So.
The last thing I'm saying is, don't be fooled. I'm just telling, no, really. Usually, you got that little sense, it's probably a worse mind. How many times you probably a worse mind? If you think you're being played, you probably being played. So you gotta listen to your listening. Adam got the same thing. Yeah, one heart is a person. Adam's got the same thing like that. Boom, they won't know. We got the same thing. Am I being played? No, I'm not being played. You can't think too much, man. Probably a worse mind. And the worst thing that happened, you just find somebody else. But yeah, it's just don't be fooled. I didn't say that. Experience.
I get that. All right. Judge Magic, you did not say.
Okay, I'm comedian Judge Miles. You can find me on all social media platforms under comedian Judge Miles. You can also find my comedy special on Amazon. It's called The Verdict. I have a podcast called The Verdict, and I have a website which is www.themilesexperience.com. Thank you.
I'm Coach Dale, Lardell Spratt. You can search me on Amazon, LARDELLSPRATT. Both of my books are there, working on the third book now. My website is upfromashes.biz. You see what I do with the youth, with broken men, broken individuals, so as well while I'm working on self. So thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Nice. All right, panelists, I'm going to ask that you just remain on the stage for a moment. I'm not going to bring you up yet, Mr. Timothy. We're going to hand it over to Mark from Monark Travel. Everybody got their raffle tickets out? Yeah! We got a winner every single show, so cross your fingers.
All right, everybody. Thank you for participating, first of all. This raffle is for a 4-day, 3-night getaway to our top 6 domestic destinations. You can go to Orlando, Las Vegas, Myrtle Beach, Branson, Missouri, Galesburg, and Williamsburg. Flights not included. We will hope that you contact us and continue to be a customer of ours. Thank you. All right, it's time to pull the raffle. The winning number is 1742. 1742. Congratulations. You won. 4-day, 3-night getaway. Yes, sir. You are the winner. Thanks for participating, everybody. Please scan the QR. You can follow us on all social media platforms. Thank you. Monark Travel Entertainment. It's been a great time to get away. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Next week, just a couple announcements. Next week, we will be at Eastern Michigan University. It's Wednesday, from 7 to 10 o'clock. It's a free event. It will be cool and catered, so you guys can come check that out. We'll pull up on that. We'll be back here on September 24th, here at Kola Lounge. Tickets on sale go tomorrow, $5 for early bird. And then October 12th, we will be at St. Regis with the speed dating heart to heart. And with that, I want to go and kind of talk about the speed dating that's there.
Thank you. So look, everybody, so October 12th, that's the event downtown at St. Regis. This will be like my 6th one. Normally I'm all around, so like Ann Arbor, a few that's online, and obviously downtown. So what I do is I read them from out of my book, and there's some dope questions. Or I do it from my app. So it's not like those traditional ones. We're not doing it like that. I do more behavioral questions so people can't lie. So
So now it's more so a little bit more deep. So some of the surface level questions they go, but you know, if you really want to get to know somebody, you know, obviously you just gotta ask the right questions. So